Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox On Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus Detroit. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lancelin got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner.
White Sox fans, welcome into a winning edition of the Sox On Tap post-game show. It's Jonnie Nani here alongside Tony Marchese. Tony, crack up, baby. That feels good.
Oh, yeah. The victory beers are flowing finally once again. I mean, yesterday was a little rough going there, Johnny, but I'm glad we're back talking about a winner.
Yeah, Tony, this episode, I called it Persevered Under Pressure because there was a lot of pressure. I mean, you felt it from the fan base. Obviously, everybody really anxious, everybody on edge a bit last night. I think that's a good word to describe it. Even you and Steve on the post-game show. And then even the coaching staff's feeling it because obviously they're not producing the results they want. And they had meetings and talking about addressing the issues. And, Tony La Russa calling Frank Menechino and hitting staff into his office. A lot of pressure today. Looked rough at times early on, but they persevered.
They absolutely did, Johnny. And you know what? For the amount of base runners this team had today, they could have put up, what felt like 20 runs. So there was a little bit of frustration still. I think a little bit of carryover from that. But overall, man, 7 runs today from this White Sox offense, more than enough to get the job done. I think that's something that through the course of the season, we've kind of, had issues with high-scoring ball games and pulling out victories. They were able to get that done today, Johnny, and it was good to see.
Yeah, it was absolutely good to see. And for a while, Tony, I think what really, made everybody take like a big sigh of relief was seeing Luis Robert homer late in this one because, yes, they did score 7 runs, but a lot of that was by way of the single, maybe a couple of walks mixed in there. But it was nice to see the ball leave the yard. Had been, 3 games in between home runs here. And both of them in the series provided by Mr. Luis Robert.
There you go. Roll the R, man. Roll the R. And you know what? It's amazing what the 3-run, 2-run home run can do. You start putting up automatic crooked numbers with one swing of the bat, Johnny. Gordon Beck and Jason Benetti were also talking about this on the broadcast. That 3-run homer is kind of like a death
kill shot
punch right there. Kill shot. Yeah. And you see the White Sox pull one of those out today. It's awesome to have guys on base, which the White Sox have done somewhat consistently this season, just unable to drive them in. There's a couple of public enemy number ones throughout this lineup today, Johnny, that we'll talk about. Just some missed opportunities. I know you're a big opportunistic guy, so I'm interested to see what you have to say about some of that stuff. But the Luis Robert home run today was definitely a defining moment within this game, and hopefully, it was actually a defining moment within this series for the White Sox to take it. So, big stars show up in big moments.
This series bookended by La Pantera home runs, kind of when you're talking about moments of this with the White Sox being able to take, 3 of 5 here in KC. Tony, I also, before we really get into kind of nitty gritty here, need to give a shout out to Tim Anderson. We had done some White Sox anatomy. Our guy Sox Insane wrote one about how excited he is to see, Lance Lynn eventually come back. And when we're looking at the anatomy of the White Sox, he said, Tim Anderson's the heart, Jose Abreu is the soul, and Lance Lynn's the backbone. We can get into Lance Lynn as it gets closer to his return, but Timmy Hart was on full display, stealing bases on back-to-back pitches at one point, setting up a scoring opportunity. He looked like he gave a shit today, and he always does, but that was very, very evident when at times it seemed a little sluggish overall for the White Sox.
Yeah, he definitely came to the ballpark today sick and tired of this current White Sox club pissing away ball games. He had every right to be angry after yesterday's display. And then, comes in here today, and we talk about it all the time, man. He's trying to set the tone for this White Sox offense. Job well done from him today. I think he only made 1 out all day. Just some amazing plays in the field, and then the base running was exemplary.
2 for 3, 2 walks and 2 ribbies for Tim Anderson. So seeing some of that discipline there.
When's the last time you saw Tim Anderson?
It would have to
2 walks
be a while. I'd have to go back and look at his game logs, but it has been a while. I can confirm, #confirm that. Probably been a while for that, because obviously he has that aggressive approach at the plate. But hey, he realized the team needed to change something offensively, and we talked about what was it going to take to turn the White Sox around. Probably some locker room leadership. There you go, form of Tim Anderson, and then B, applying that on the field in the approach. So being a little bit more patient, because when you get runners on, it's just better off for everybody, and you give yourself more opportunities. So shout out Tim Anderson early on in this one. Tony, it was a Vinny vibes day. Unfortunately, the vibes are kind of wearing off from those 2 starts that he had against the Angels and then the Red Sox. But he gutted through this one. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 1 home run. Tony, I know this isn't the sexiest line out there, but like I said, he gutted through some stuff, and you saw earlier it could have been much shorter, because Jose Ruiz, I think he got up in the 3rd inning when things got a little bit dicey.
Absolutely. And, this is I go back to the offense here. This is what you need to do when your 5th starter's on the mound. And that's kind of what he is right now. You can make the argument, Dallas Keuchel, is it Johnny Cueto? I don't know if Vinny Vibes is going to be in this rotation for the long term, but he has served a purpose here, and he's gutted out a few ball games just like this, Johnny, whether or not he's immaculate, like we've seen him be once, or he's giving you this version of himself. It's enough for this White Sox team to win ball games. And that's what's important. That was proven today. The sexy stat line, you're right. It's not what you're looking for, but kept his team in the ball game, let them hang around. The offense woke up, and, it helps him out here. I can't argue with the results. He got the job done.
Yeah,
just as best as he could have.
Like I said, and I think a big part of that was patching through until the 5th, because you have to go there, and then you're going to play a Yankees team this weekend, which we'll get into at the end of the show. Man, you would be hurting rolling into the Bronx on Friday evening. So shout out Vinny Velo there for at least gutting out there. Once again, not the sexiest performance, but hey, we had other guys that gave the White Sox chances to win, but the offense just wasn't able to do it. Tony, let's talk a little bit about how the offense did pick up today. And that was starting in the 3rd inning with Luis Robert, one of 3 hits for him on the day? Yeah, he was through 4 on the day. So he drives in the first run here. I think there's stretches here where we think it basically the White Sox team, or the White Sox organization, might just be Tim Anderson and Luis Robert.
Yeah, and dude, I'm thankful that you had both of those guys show up today. You could joke about maybe just them within the lineup and 7 other guys. You go on Twitter at certain points throughout the ball game today, and it was just those 2 guys. But again, I just go back to, your stars have to show up and play, and they did that today. Obviously, Tim Anderson was getting on base before this 3rd inning, but unable to get him around. But then there you go in the 3rd, and Robert shows up for you.
And this goes back to what I had said about Timmy in the opening. This was the inning. He set this up by stealing 2nd and 3rd on consecutive pitches to put Pantera in this situation and drive him in. Unfortunately, White Sox struggles with bases loaded continue there, so you hate to see that with the Brady walking, Pollock walking after that, Sheets swinging at a 2nd pitch there, man. You'd love to get more, but on we go. Royals able to add on 1 more in the bottom of the 3rd, but then White Sox respond in the top of the 4th. I like seeing after you get scored on like that in a game like this, a game where you have to persevere. They did, and they started it by chipping away. Vaughn with an infield single probably should have been an error, but I won't complain. And then Reese McGuire bunt single, Harrison singles, and then Timmy TA7 coming through, RBI single back up the middle. Yes, I'm reading off a lot of singles, and I would like to see more gap shots, extra base hits, but man, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations.
Yeah, and hey, man, just the Kansas City outfield just gives itself to that single right there, and the Sox were able to, just batter some Kansas City specials all day, and they got the job done. Yes, I want to see some doubles. I want to see some triples. I want to see this team moving. They feel a little station to station somewhat. in certain senses. But I want to go back to that bunt to beat the shift from Reese McGuire here for a second. Johnny, what are your thoughts on that? I thought it was ballsy.
Yeah, especially with the 2 strikes there, Tony, obviously, because if you hit it foul, you're out immediately. So, didn't work out the first time. Gordon was talking about on the broadcast, that might be a good idea, just given where positioning was, situation in the game, Reese not really going at the plate outside of the double that he hit a couple days ago. So overall, idea-wise, I'm never usually a huge proponent of bunting, but I think Benetti also commented on that too. In that situation, it may not be the worst idea. And obviously, you got to execute, and he did. So it's all about getting the job done, Tone.
Yeah, it's all about getting the job done and getting on base. I was just on these airwaves a couple hours ago with NWI Steve, and he said, if you need a bunt to get this thing done tomorrow, just win. And NWI Steve, your prayers were answered by Reese McGuire. So
yeah,
I wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, right. Like you said, it wasn't one to bring one in, but set up because then Harrison singles after him to set up Timmy's 2 RBI opportunity there. So that also chases the Kansas City starter out of the game. So when you're getting into that bullpen there, obviously they were able to do more damage off of it because in the 6th inning, Luis Robert coming through once again with an RBI single. Man, this guy, we're not even going to be done talking about him yet, Tony. You're muted.
Sorry, lost that there for a second. The internet was going out and I was trying to close some tabs. Johnny, the White Sox offense overall today and just the approach that they had. You talked a little bit earlier about hitters meetings. How much do you think that actually affected what went on today? When Tony Lewis was making comments yesterday about, we're going to fix it guy by guy, and you're going through just up and down this lineup, I felt like there was a different approach today. Maybe the results weren't as sexy as we want them to be. Even though you put up 7 runs, I still think that, guys were getting in the box and they had a different level of approach in today's game.
I think there were a few guys where you see that there's still definitely room for improvement. And even with the guys that are swinging it well, we want to see, some elevation on some more of them. And luckily, we got a little bit of that a little bit later in this game. But yeah, overall, I think it shows in the willingness when you see a guy like Tim Anderson taking 2 walks. That's how you know something's different there. And then you also had Jose Abreu taking a pair of walks. AJ Pollock took a walk in this one. So better than the goose eggs in that column that they had been taking. I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but that tells me that a message is at least being sent and they're at least trying to rectify some of these offensive struggles. So, Tony, one more in the top of the 7th here, and that was Adam Engel in a pinch hit spot. There's a little bit of, animosity before this because people wanted to see with the lefty on the mound Sheets be one to be pulled, but he got the at-bat, unfortunately struck out. But White Sox continue the line moving with Andrew Vaughn single, and then Engel pinch hitting for Reese in that spot. And, man, clutch off the bench. I guess you can't see you're cold because it's a warm day out in Kansas City, but you haven't played yet. And Adam Engel, talk about being opportunistic. That's it right there.
Yeah, cool and tough moment in the game coming in there for Adam Engel. Johnny, there was a little bit of debate going on online over this. I saw my pick to click today, Ken Woe for life, going back and forth with our guy NWI Steve on this exact topic. I didn't hate seeing Gavin Sheets in there against the lefty.
Oh,
just because
never.
No, I would never hate Gavin Sheets in that situation. I want him to have some at bats against left-handers just to get used to it. And we've seen him get a couple hits off of lefties. But I think going to Adam Engel there, I was kind of surprised that you didn't see Yasmani Grandal. Just me personally, come in that situation. But we've just been talking about Adam Engel a couple of times on this show lately. He's been getting the job done, so I love seeing that.
When you're talking about the possibility of Grandal there, I think if he's going like we know he can at times, and like he did when he came back from the leg surgery last summer, that would be a situation where you definitely would, even if you're getting him from the right side there. But obviously some options there. You already had right-handed bat available, a true righty in Adam Engel, not a switch hitter like he has. So I like the move there by TLR, even though I probably would have liked to see Sheets get pinch hit for there. But alas, this is what happened. This is how it unfolded, and Adam Engel was the one to step up and get the job done. That sets a stage for the kill shot, and that is Luis Robert. The next inning, Moncada after his one-out single. Luis smokes that baby left center field. pretty similar location as the one on Monday night, Tony. I love seeing this. Like I said, I think this was the moment all White Sox fans could exhale for a little bit.
The beer tastes better after you just described that home run. Yeah, I felt the relief. I think you felt the relief. I think everybody listening to this felt the relief when you see that ball leave the stadium. Did he pimp that home run? Because he stood there like he was. Yeah, he watched that thing leave. He knew he had that. That's cool and tough. I loved it.
Well, it's either getting caught on the track or going over the wall. So
yeah, I think he knew he had that one. I think he knew. He absolutely knew.
Yeah. So maybe a slight pimp job. Obviously, we talk about those with the usually with a bat flip or a drop or whatever it may be. But the watch is pretty cool too. It's kind of stone cold in my opinion. So I like seeing that from Luis. A little flair because hey, we had talked about this team needing to have fun. You said this the other night way after one of the losses. This White Sox team lacks fun right now. That's kind of stuff is fun when you can stand there and watch a home run because you fucking smacked it.
Yeah, and see, the thing that I'm looking for right now with this White Sox club, Jonnie, is if they do turn it around, you're going to need to see that fun start. You're going to need to see those big moments because up until this point, everything's been frustrating. Everything's been going motions. Watching guys, we were talking about a week ago. What does this dugout look like? Like, where's that big moment come? Maybe it wasn't the Luis Robert home run today. Maybe it is. Who knows? You got a tough test coming up against the New York Yankees, and it's going to be a harder fought ball game than anything you saw against the Kansas City Royals. But it's good to win this series because you have to start somewhere. You have to start taking steps up those stairs to climb your way back up. And I mean, I can't sell people enough on the importance of they need to have fun. They need to have big moments like Luis Robert watching that ball just leave. Looked like he had just hit a tee shot in golf. Like that could be an iconic moment. Get the boys rolling.
Confidence building moments, Tony. I think that's the biggest thing because even as they were winning and kind of teetering back and forth, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. That's how it kind of had been trending prior to this. You need a kind of a swagger moment, right? You need to re-inject some of that life back in there. And I think Gordon Beckham, I need to give him credit because he's been in there. He's been in the situations before. He's been through grinds. He's been on shitty teams. He's been on competitive teams. He had said that, a happy flight is always good. And I think when you're talking really like this is non-tangible, this is you can't go and look this up on Fangraphs or Baseball Reference. But I think the bonding that you'll have on a flight after a win from, you're on a road trip going from KC to New York, got a decent amount of time on the plane. The boys are going to be having some more fun on that as opposed to if they would have dropped this series finale.
Absolutely 100% agree with you. And one thing that I'm looking for, Jonnie, we haven't seen it yet this year. Last year, after series victories like this, you would get pictures of the team having a good time on the plane. Everybody's dressing up like Yohan Moncada Day. We haven't seen any of that yet. We haven't seen the boys kind of bonding and gelling the way that they did just last year. And so I'm curious to see, maybe there's, like you said, I mean, it's a short flight home. Maybe it's not a trip out to California or it's not a trip out to the East Coast. About to get on one right now. Actually, I thought they were coming back home there. I don't know what I was saying, but they're going out to New York. So you've got a nice little long plane ride here to just, sit back, relax, maybe crush a beer or two on the plane, get out to the big city for the weekend. Just like you say, Jonnie, the weekend starts on when?
Well, Thursday, confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's the weekend now. Let the boys have a little fun. Drink this one home. We know Victory beers taste good. That's what they need.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Get Tim Anderson and Luis Robert. Those guys absolutely, especially deserve it from today. If I was going to give a game ball, I would give mine to TA. How about you?
You're giving yours to TA. You know what? I'm probably right there with you, man. I'm giving that to TA. But the 2 swipe bags on consecutive pitches, that's cool and tough. Taking two man, again, I still can't get over it when I look at this box score. 2 walks. I mean, the guy never walks. That's been like the biggest criticism of Timmy.
Indicative of a approach change that has been voiced.
Yes. That just get yourself on base so that other people can make things happen. It's frustrating when they don't.
He can make a map with his legs. That's the thing. That's
get on, get over. Somebody's got to drive you in, and that happened today, and that's why you saw the White Sox win a baseball game.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. All right, we talked a little bit about Vinny vibes earlier for the starting here, and then we just ran through the offense. But I need to give some shout outs to the bullpen here because they locked it down. No damage off of this bullpen today, Tony. You like to see it, and each of these guys, you know what? When I go and look on this, sure, you want to see clean goose eggs across there, except in the strikeout column, basically. But each of these guys endured a runner on base. Everyone from Bennett Souza, Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman, Liam Hendricks. They all endured at least a little bit, but they did not let it spiral out of control. When you talk about confidence building for, offense, it's easy. It's a big hit. It's a big home run, big situation. In pitching, when it comes especially to relievers, I think it's being able to shut it down when something may start to flare up a little bit. You agree?
Yeah, and you know what? I go back to my old adage, man. Weather the storm. Like if you're giving up a couple hits, you still got to find a way through that without giving anything up. I go back to that, and I agree with what you said there.
Yeah. All right. Absolutely. So the White Sox take this one, take the series 3-2 in Kansas City, take the game here on Thursday, 7-4. And we are on to the Bronx, going out to New York for the weekend. Tony, we're going to have a little Sox on Tap happy hour festivities going on tomorrow in the garage. Some hashtag content maybe emerging from that.
Yeah, we're going to try and bring some content as I believe, who do we have on the mound tomorrow, Johnny? I believe that's Dallas Keuchel.
Diamond Dallas, yeah.
Diamond Dallas. We're going to sit through this game together, Johnny. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. We'll bring some content to you before we get together and do a little live show from the On Tap headquarters here in the Casa de Marchese. So I'm excited for it. I'm a little scared about this series. I still have sort of the heebie-jeebies over this whole New York Yankees lineup.
Well, they're the best.
You went
from
today.
You went from playing a bottom dweller, and you are now going to face the best team in baseball.
Yep. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be a test once again, and it should be fresh in these guys' minds. But you got to have TA show up the same way he did today throughout every game of this series. Luis Robert has to continue doing what he's doing here, and you're going to need to. I hope it's contagious. I hope this approach change thing really settles in. I want to see TA take more walks. I want to see him on the base paths stealing. I want to see guys being able to drive him in, but it'll be interesting. We'll have a couple, 2-3 beers, and we'll watch this ball game. Johnny will break it down.
I got a little hashtag analysis here, and then we'll get into our predictions, preview, and all that shit, and then sign off. But and a little analysis, like you had said, hoping that approach change is really settling in here for these guys. Guess what? We're facing the guy that we last saw when we faced the Yankees in the finale of the series on the South Side. Nestor Cortez will take the mound. Last time out, he threw 8 innings, 1 earned run, 0 walks, 7 strikeouts. Strong outing for him on that Sunday for the Yankees to take that ball game. And the only life the White Sox showed was an Adam Engel late home run. I believe that was 8th inning as well. So, Tony, I think big thing here will be being able to wait him out, make him make more pitches than he did on that Sunday outing. And I think the walks, that could be a make or break in this game, because if you walk more, you'll give yourself more scoring opportunities. If not, Cortez is going to mow you down just like he did, like you saw less than a week ago.
Yeah, there's been a lot of storylines with this White Sox offense, especially early with the whole walking issues, not taking enough walks, not driving up pitch counts enough. And that's something that I want to see them come into this and set the tone. Obviously, like you just mentioned, with this analysis right here. Yeah, hashtag set the tone. I want to see this guy have like 60 pitches through 3 innings. That's my goal if I'm the White Sox right now. I want this guy out of the ball game as soon as possible. And that starts with driving up pitch counts, having long innings, taking bases when you can get them. And continue to hit the singles. You know what? If the doubles aren't going to come right now, just keep that line fucking moving and drive this guy out of the ball game, because you want to stretch that bullpen. They just got walked off tonight by Baltimore. So just you're coming off.
They can be beaten. They can be beaten.
Yes, the Baltimore Orioles defeated the New York Yankees today on a walk-off home run. So let's hope they're stewing in their minds a little bit, and maybe some uncomfortableness throughout that bullpen already right now. Then exactly to check their box score to see who they used. But I would hope, Johnny, 60 pitches for Mr. Cortez by the 3rd inning. That's going to be a predictor of success for the White Sox tomorrow. At least that's what I'm looking for.
Yep, absolutely, Tony. I really like that breakdown there. And like I said, the Yankees are seemingly able to cruise for the most part all weekend by getting their starters to go deep and then only using one or two arms at the end of the game. I've heard. I'm no New York Yankees fan. I've been following this White Sox team, commiserating up and down all week, so I haven't really tuned in too much to New York Yankees games. But from the broadcast, from what they said, it seems like the Yankees it was still TBD for a while before they announced Cortez was going to go. So I think they may have been having a little bit more issues after they left the South Side in terms of bullpen usage, having to ramp up those arms more. So maybe a little fatigue from the week can carry over into the weekend, and the White Sox are able to get into that pen earlier and burn them even further. Because like I said, that was one thing the White Sox did not do very well at all in that series on the South Side, even though it was a 4-game one. And that's one that you think that you can really, especially by that game 3, game 4, that's when you should be able to do it. We're only got a 3-game set this time, so let's do it early and get on them. I think that plan against Cortez, like you said, will be a recipe for success if they're going to win this one. And Tony, score 7 runs today. I think you're going to need even more. We saw how big of shootouts these were. We saw A, and then B, they play in a Little League park. Don't forget that. There's a short porch right field. So, yes, Stanton, Judge, I think they're going to get theirs. I would not be surprised to see 2 home runs each from them throughout this series. But the White Sox can use that as well. Tim Anderson, very high contender to be able to poke one out there. Jose Abreu, you need something to just get you going in terms of the long ball, in terms of elevating it. Hell, you got a short porch in right field. Go ahead and poke it out there.
Yeah, I thought that Jose Abreu was going to get going to the Cup Series. That's where I thought he was going to get going. You've seen him kind of have a decent series in terms of what he did in KC, but let's show up on the big stage, right? Let's show up on the big stage.
You got Sunday Night Baseball too.
You got Sunday Night Baseball. Get hot, and I want it to be the Jose Abreu show on Sunday Night Baseball. I really do, Johnny. Like that would be so cool to just see him show up on the big stage underneath the lights in New York. You gotta. I'm looking at that game specifically in this series. You don't want that game to be an embarrassment for the White Sox. We'll all feel bad about it. Sunday night show will suck because we'll be angry. Don't make that happen. You got to go in there, and it starts tomorrow with getting to that bullpen to set yourself up for Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So game prediction for tomorrow night, for Friday night, just game 1 here, and then pick to click as well from you.
I mean, go with the 5-4 White Sox winner. I know you said you're going to need a little bit more runs, but I think Dallas Keuchel, he handled the Yankee lineup pretty well last time.
Maybe some familiar feeling in terms of that was the last team he pitched against. He was not on the bump at all during this case series, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think he'll make it through, a good 5 innings. I don't exactly know if I want Dallas Keuchel going through that order a third time.
I think Tony managed it perfectly on last Saturday.
Yeah, so I think it's going to get touched up a little bit, but this White Sox offense is as hot as they've been all year, I guess, after you look at today's ball game. If they follow the game plan, according to what I said here, get Cortez up to 60 pitches, I think if by the 3rd inning he's there, you've probably scored at least a run. You're going to need the long ball tomorrow. Let's hope that that's a guy like Tim Anderson. Maybe we see him drive one over the short porch, like you said. Get the boys amped up because he's coming to play this series. He absolutely wants to beat the New York Yankees. The team went through as much adversity this week, I think, as they've felt all season in terms of, some of the just embarrassments. TA's playing like a man on a mission right now.
Under pressure.
He's feeling it. So let's a 5-4 victory over the New York Yankees tomorrow. We'll have victory beers and chat about it.
All right, I'll go 7-6, and it'll be complete nail biter. Complete, we'll be all on the edge of our seats and possibly take multiple years off of our life. But yes, since we're together, it has to be Sox winner 7-6. Hey, we're 1 for 1 in terms of your garage games this year. So let's keep it rolling, right? That's a trend. That's a trend that you also haven't taken into account. So we're 1-1, whereas I think last year we were like 0-4 to start. So
it was rough. It was rough. It was really rough. Yeah. Let's keep the winning streak alive when we're watching ball games together, Johnny, and we'll be happy campers at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Last thing is pick to click.
Pick to click. You know what? I've got to roll with Tim Anderson, dude. I just have to. I think it's the easiest choice out here. I think he's the guy that shows up. Something about him. He gets up for these games against the New York Yankees and the big teams, and even the Kansas City Royals. He's up for everything. I'm gonna roll with him. I didn't want to take Luis Robert here. I think it's Timmy's time to shine.
All right, I'm going a little bold here just because he's been so cold throughout this year, but I like that short porch out and right. Excuse me, this is a left-hander on the mound. So, excuse me, scrap that. I was going to go Yaz there for a second, but I will go with AJ Pollock, assuming he's in the lineup. I'm gonna run it back with him. I think I picked him once during this Kansas City series, but right-handed bat. He did have a couple doubles throughout this, unfortunately, in losing efforts. But I'll go with him. But yes, will be a pick at some point this weekend for me. So, final thought, then we're signing off.
Final thoughts. It's a nice comp right here. Like what I saw today on a lot of different levels of White Sox baseball. It was much better than the night previously. They're not out of the woods yet, though. We've seen the ups. We've seen the downs. We've got to just grin and bear through it here. This is going to be a very important weekend for the Chicago White Sox.
My final thought here, Tony, is that the last week has been tumultuous. They've had immense pressure under them, and rightfully so, because the expectations are much higher than where they're playing to right now. This, against the best team in the league, is an opportunity to be a statement series. I know we've been saying that. We've been waiting. Oh, like maybe against the Angels, we're going to do it. Oh, maybe against, the Yankees last time out. No. Well, now actually internalize it. Build on what you did today. Even with the tumultuous events in the middle of this KC series, you did win the series, which we said, on Sunday Funday, they absolutely needed to do. They got it done. So that is an accomplishment. Although I would have liked 5, like I said.
We all would have liked 5.
It's still an accomplishment. And then now this is one where you can make a statement, right?
Yeah.
So make it a statement series. Do it on the biggest stage because Sunday night will be nationally televised. So go out, series win would be fantastic in the Bronx against the best team in baseball. So that's all I've got. White Sox forever.
White Sox forever.